Hello everyone, and welcome to today's live stream where I'll be going over how I did the wrinkles on the Spider-Man suit. This version is much better than the previous one from, I think, 2 days ago. But as we can see here, as I move the mesh, the shader automatically updates to make wrinkles, and it's now omnidirectional thanks to the Gabor texture, which we will get into soon. But one thing before that, I want to apologize for the performance here. I think there's a bug with Blender 4.5, which is making the shaders a lot slower, but not the actual shaders themselves, the nodes. So in this case, these two hexagon textures are bringing down the performance by like 10 frames, and I don't know why. I'm trying to make a bug report, but for the life of me, it is eluding me. But the actual shader itself is pretty light, as we can see when I go and move the mesh. All that is having a whale of a time, but it's just that part. I've been trying to debug it, and it seems like with around 400 nodes, everything starts to lag, but I'm not sure why. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's go and take a look at the wrinkle map. So let's take a look at the visualizer. So inside here, we have our wrinkle shader node group, and we can see that the regular parts that go out are positive, the ones that go inside are negative. I've added 0.5 so that we can see the negative parts a bit easier. But if we look inside, we can see that, well, a bit is happening. You know, it's not exactly the simplest setup. But we have a tension map, and that is controlling the direction the Gabor texture's orientations are rotating, and then we use some math to customize it. Like, most of this is just for customization. But let's take a look at the actual wrinkle generation. As we can see here, this got a lot simpler than last time, partly thanks to a blog post by the Blender devs for the Charge Open Movie project that came out about 2 years ago, where they made wrinkle maps, which I forgot about. I remember reading that blog post years ago, but I forgot about it when I was making the first iteration of this version. But with that, they mentioned something that was very interesting to me, that they converted from Cartesian to polar coordinates, which turns out was the solution for figuring out omnidirectional wrinkles. Because, long story short, we compare the rest position and the regular position distances, as we can see right here. We divide them, subtract by 1 so that we, you know, it's not, I lost what I was going to say. So that it starts at the mid-level 0 versus 1. But also keep in mind that the rest position, you just check this box and then that works. If you don't check it, then you just get wrinkles everywhere because it has nothing to compare itself to. But with that, we then go to the UV positions. We go and normalize them. That just gives you the orientation of all the edges. I should have mentioned this is on the edge domain, which was another thing that the devs mentioned, which was very useful. And then we go and multiply. We convert the Cartesian UV edge vectors to polar ones. We multiply them basically by 2, and then we convert them back to Cartesian so that they can then be blurred and then sent into the tension map. But also, we pack just the lengths into the Z channel, and then all that works fine. So this could potentially be improved, but this is what I found worked best. So long story short, we get the actual lengths, and then this gives us the direction. We multiply the polar coordinates by 2 in order to keep the edges from freaking out, because if I were to disable that, let's just go and visualize some of this data. So here we have the coordinates, which look very, very weird, but then when we go and do the polar coordinate thing, it makes them a bit better. And we do all that, and we can see that it just makes it a bit more cohesive. Maybe I should have shown this off on the non-decimated geometry. Actually, yeah, let's go do that. Let's go and look at the full res geometry right here. Take a look at this. And we can see versus... Oh, come on, buddy. This looks like a mess, while this one actually looks cohesive. So doing that, well, I haven't done that before. It's interesting that it works so well. But yeah, that works very, very well. Other than that, that is the setup. Again, just converting, making sure it's evaluated on the edge domain, converting it to point, blurring it a little bit, and then putting it into there as a tension map, which I should have put that as an output there. That's the attribute name. People have been wondering if I'm going to be putting this on Gumroad in the future, and I think I will, obviously not with the Spider-Man model, because that is heavily copyrighted, but most likely with a test model, which I will show off soon. But yeah, that is the Wrinkle generator. Again, looking inside the Wrinkle height map, we use the tension, basically do a lot of stuff. There's some pinching at the polar parts, so if we take a look at this, let's see, just looking at the map right here, we can see that there's some pinching where the orientation changes, but fortunately, we can go and compensate for that so that you just don't see it. So that's another thing. But yeah, lots of fun stuff. We turn the tension map from Cartesian coordinates to polar using the gradient texture set to radial because that's just the easiest way with less nodes. And then we multiply it by pi times 2, do that, we add whatever rotation we want. If it's stretching, we go and rotate the thing, so on the back here, it'll be stretching, while here it'll be compressing. We do all that, send it through, and all that works perfectly. Yeah. Should I explain the Gabor texture? It's probably fine. Let's see, I'm just gonna edit the... Let's see. In Blender 4.5. Ooh, yeah, the thing was wrong. This is in Blender 4.5. Forgot to update the stream title. But there we go. That is working quite well. With all that out of the way, with that monumental explanation out of the way, we can get to showing it off with other things. So here, I just have a character in a suit. One of my friends was saying, oh, you should make it look like Pepsi Man, which I don't know what he looks like from memory, so I'm just like, oh, just silver and blue. Yeah, that'll be fine. But yeah, if we just look at a basic model, yeah, let's just go and throw on a diffuse shader with the height map. So yeah, let's just go and copy you and bring it over here. So if I were to put this up on Gumroad, which again is the plan, if I can make it a bit more robust, it would be something like this, where you just have the model, the base model, and all of that. So I think the fading is still a little bit wrong. This is why we're testing this. As we can see here, as the character runs, if we go through frame by frame, the stretching is working as intended, the compression is working as intended, as we can see there on the arm joints. But I think... yeah, the pinching, I think 0.1 is fine for there. The fall off for that could be changed. So if I multiply this times like 2, we can make it much more apparent where the things are rotating. And that's not the strength, that's just the fall off. So it's all a matter of at what point is that better. Previously, I square rooted this part to make it more apparent. I'm not sure if that's the best solution. So I'm just going to be testing a bit of that. So here, to square root it, I could do this, but that would ruin the sign of this, so I need to multiply this by the sign afterwards. Actually, wait a second, is that actually necessary? Wait a minute, no, that's actually... Square rooting would... Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, no, it's just eliminating the stretching. Because right there, there should be stretching where there isn't. So let's go and get the sign, which is whether the value is positive or negative. Whoops, almost did that very wrong. And then we just need to multiply it after the square root. So right there with those few nodes, we can square root it, but still keep the sign. We should see... Where is the stretching? Yeah, no, the sign's there. Oh, wait, I need to absolute before the square root. There we go. And for the life of me, I need to turn off the auto node shifting because that can be quite annoying at times. There we go, we have that and that. So here we should see, yes, there we go. The stretching is now working as intended. And as we can see, that gives us a bit better of a fall off with all of it. I'm hoping, because again with square rooting, it makes it so that values above 1. Actually, wait a minute. I'm actually better. Yeah, no, it is better. Values that are like 0.5, they'll be divided by 0.5, right? No, we'll find the square root of 0.5, which I actually don't know off the top of my head. But anyway, let's see how this looks on the regular Spider-Man rig. Go, and that looks fine. The strength is a bit high, but we can just go and reduce that by a bit, maybe like 3. Yeah, 3 looks very good. Let's take a look at the visualizer, and that looks pretty good to me. Let's go and turn off right there. So it makes it more apparent. I want to make sure that the ones over here get shown a bit better. Actually, let me go and use a power node so that we can actually see what values will look the best. So here we can see the closer it is to 1, the more of that we get. And then when we set it to 2, it looks like that. Let's turn up the strength even more. Yeah. I want the fall off to be better. So I want it to be like 0.25. And then we bring this down. So I want to see more wrinkles as things progress. So again, right there. It's like that. Yeah. Though, it's either, power 0.25 or just square roots. Which one would be better? That shows more of the wrinkle. Square root is fine. It's fine. Okay, so we have that and that. We can keep that like that. Yeah, let's just make the nodes nice and pretty. There we go. That is pretty good. As we can see, it all works in real time still, unless that it's not a problem with EV Next. I have no idea why just the amount of nodes are lagging, because we have like, I don't know, like, oh, I need to update that. That's not using vector mix. This is probably from like 3.6 or before then. But yeah, just the amount of nodes is causing this to lag, not the actual operation, like not the actual shader calculation as well. I've been trying to debug for the past like 1.5 hours, but for some reason I can't find it. But anyway, or I can't fully isolate it, where it's like, oh, I think I found the bug, but then all of a sudden it stops being the performance stops getting decreased, and then in some cases it starts getting decreased again. The only part where it's reliable is in this file with this model. Or just with this model. It's so freaking weird. Yeah. The compression is a little bit weird there, but I'm just going to assume that's the model working as intended. So we can just go and decrease this to be like 0.75. Yeah, there's always pinching around that area. That's just how physics works, I guess. We can go and decrease the stretch amount, the stretch factor. And that is labeled stretch factor. Oh, they have descriptions too. Let me go and clear all those because that was not intended. That must have been automatically added. Right. Yes, stretch factor. Okay. So we can make this a little bit wider. Maybe like that seems to be fine. Let me go and reset the group. Where is the... there we go. 180 seems to be fine. There we go. So now we can have all that. Let me go and use another shader, try to make it look as good as it can, because I still intend for this to go up on Gumroad. So if we make it nice and metallic, really getting that, I don't know, what material would this be? Like, vinyl, maybe? I don't know. Our roughness looks like that. This looks like velvet now. But yeah, all the wrinkles doing their jobs. Again, right there at the knees, we can see it's working beautifully. I have wondered about using more textures, like more Gabor textures. Now, what's going on there? Is that a bug? Okay, no, that is just the shader. And then that happens. Okay, that might be a problem. I guess worst case scenario, just revert it back to being linear and it should be fine. Because maybe that's the problem. I don't know, maybe it just needs to be more accurate. Because that there... Though then again, the knees are at the point where the pinching is going to be the worst. Although, it does make a bit more sense for the that to be square root. Yeah, no, that makes more sense. Because you see the folding more when squashing just begins, and then when it squashes more and more, you see the increase less. So yeah, square root. Square root, definitely. We can see at the UV seams that there are still some issues with that. I've thought about ways of making that work, but yeah, I have not found that yet. I could try just using the face corners instead of the vertex IDs, because again, the direction is due to... Actually, let me check that real quick. What if I were to just... That is on the edge domain. Let me go and check you. Yeah, no, that part's fine. So the only issue is this being wrong UV. Oh, wait. Edge, corners of edge. So if I just switch this to be you, and then this to be you, in theory, this should work a bit better, because each edge only has 2 of those. So in theory, again, that's oh shit, shoot. Rare swear, it's rare for me to do that on stream. Let's get all that. So we can see that's working a bit better. Looking rather cohesive. Although, oh wait, that might still be an issue. Dang. It just, does this still work? Oh wait, that fixes the problem. Okay. Like, there still will be a seam because it's a UV seam and all that, but it, you know, it's fine. Okay, so that's one of the most annoying things that I was willing to overlook, but I probably shouldn't have avoided. Okay, so that's fine. How do I make this look good? Go. There we go. Let's bring that over to there. Let's bring this over to here. Let me read the chat because I have not read it in the past 17 minutes. Hello to everyone in the chat. How are you doing? Let's see. Hi, Caramel. Hello. Your work is always amazing. Thank you. Yeah, no, this... Oh, that is a much better solution. Though I think using vertex indices here is fine because this data is on the point domain. Let's check the timing. Oh yeah, timing seems to be okay. Let's check, on the main one. How are you? Oh my gosh. Wigglebones out on is having a whale of a time. I love physics-based animation. It's amazing. It always is. But yeah, we have that and that, so the face corners are fine. Again, UV map data is on the face corner domain, while positions are just on the point domain. And I could just hide those inputs, but that's unnecessary. So yeah, there we go. As we can see, again, the seam right there is literally because of the UV seam, which we cannot avoid. Again, we do not want to actually do this on the geometry, because that would be a terrible, terrible, terrible idea for performance. And we're already running into performance issues because there is a bug with Blender 4.5 where there wasn't in Blender 4.1 or 4.3. Some bugs get introduced and make Blender slower than the one like from 4 years ago. But from what I've seen, like, they might know what's going on if I have the right bug isolated. But I still don't know. Anyway, there we go. We have the thing here. It looks phenomenal. We have the scale. I still want to see if I can customize the frequencies a bit better. 2 seems to be the best. Like, if we just have it set to 1, it's fine, but not the best. That seems to be the most natural. Then the ratio being scale of 2, that just makes sense. Even though I should probably... Nah, it's probably fine. The more we do that, if we were to set this to be 80 and 20, and 40, whoopsie, we can see that we get much more, like, individual wrinkles. I think maybe 50 is good. No, that seems to be too repetitive. This seems to be the magical zone where everything just works. Then if we do that, yeah, the ratio seems to be pretty much perfect. Though, if I set it to be 30, that works very well as well. What is the correct ratio? We have that, looks like that. And if we scaled up even more, it looks like that, which can work. It's all a matter of how far we want the wrinkles to what frequency. Again, 40 looks like that, which is too much. Then the frequency like that, well, the frequency is like that. I don't know. Well, that doesn't look half bad either. Still not great. And when we do that, yeah, no. Let's go back to what we had before, but I'll keep the other one in mind. Then you back to there. Okay. So again, 30 with the scale being 1 or 1.5. That works quite well. Looking around. Yeah, actually no. Alright, back to square one. Like when you have something that works, you know, don't worry about it. It works for a reason. And if we go and turn this off, let's go and turn off the pinch fading. Let's go and fix the auto offsets things. I really need to turn that off. It's useful like 20% of the time, and for me that's enough to keep using it. Okay. So here we can see some of the pinching, where if I did not make that fade out, we would be seeing the poles go around and move around quite a bit. But fortunately, just like that, they're all just hidden and you never even see it. Because, you know, that makes sense. With cloth, you can't have it pinch in every direction. It just fades to nothing being stretched. Yep. Actually, speaking of regular stretching, what happens when we actually stretch the geometry along a certain axis? Ah, okay. We can see that part's stretching there. Okay, that is as expected. Nope. That is the wrong way. Meant to... Is this locked? Or no, that's the IK doing that. Yeah. May scale up. Okay. That what the heck? It is interesting. But we can see, yep, it still works. So if we were to scale the entire mesh, we can see that, yep, it's working. Yep. Okay. Hello, I'm a Marvelous Designer user, and I'm so amazed by your shader. Oh, I'm glad. All in all, it's a pretty simple shader once you, like, if you ignore, like, all the little customization things to make it, like, that last 10% better. It's just, oh, Gabor texture with an orientation, layer it up twice, and then you're good. And then the actual orientation, as we can see, it's not as complicated as I made it out to be previously. Because before I was trying to use tangent space, which wasn't the worst, it did have its merits, but was overcomplicated for what we needed. Because with this, which wasn't the problem with the tangent space version, I don't think. I would have to test that again. But if we rotate the UV map, things, you know, the wrinkles don't go the correct direction. So in this case, you need all of your UV maps to be rotated in one way for it to work. Because, yeah, that's the one thing. Where in the previous one, actually, can I fix that here? Let me go and take a look at this internally. So can we just get the orientation? No, I would probably need the orientation of the triangle, which I can still do. But probably isn't the best idea. Yeah, no, it's fine. Corners of edge. Oh, right, So there is a condition where this breaks, because there are cases where edges can have more than 2 corners, but that's only when it's non-manifold. So in most scenarios with most meshes, if they're not broken, each edge will only have 2 face corners. Like one, if we take a look at the wireframe, there would be one here and one here. Why is this mesh triangulated? Oh, because I triangulated it. Why did I do that? Oh, because that does affect the result by a bit. Yeah, because we don't have the horizontal or the full triangular stretching. Which I can just go and... Yeah, I can just go and get the face area. Yeah, I could do that now because I've separated getting the stretching from the direction. Yeah. Actually, no, I can't. Or can I? Can I? No. No, I can't. Because it needs to be on the edge domain. It would not work on the face domain. No. Okay. Might look that up later, but it should be fine the way it is. Okay, let's go and make a shader that's more presentable. Again, with it being, you know, super simple, it seems to show everything a bit better. Let's go and just really exaggerate all this. I am a bit concerned about this part right here, but I'm just going to assume that's blurring. Like, you can just go and blur the shader more and more if you're seeing some pinching, or you can blur the tension attributes. Let's go over to here and then move those around. Yeah. Let's see. Actually, no, that should be internal. Output, yeah, output name. Yeah, and let's place that under there. Yeah, that should be fine. A lot of this is just saying, oh, what would be more helpful for the user? And all that. There we go. So again, all this seems to be fine. Again, converting from polar to Cartesian coordinates. Fine. I know this stack is a little bit funny. Actually, if I do that, that's not too bad. Make it more vertical, just to make it look that 1% better. Then doing that's probably fine. Like, I can't... Can't plug that into there and then do that because it gets scaled, and I don't want to... Would it actually just be less nodes if I just plug that into there and then... Oh yeah, I probably would. So let's go and do that. So we plug that into there. We need that one to be... No, but that just makes it harder to look at. Okay, let's just ignore all that. Okay, yep, that's all good. Just go and make this look a little bit prettier once again. A bit brighter. Like orange could look good. Oh, I think blue looks a little bit better for this. Or we can hue shift the height map. So hue saturation value, put that into the factor. Or we could just put that into there. So if I go and use a multiply and an add node and then plug that into there and then plug this into here, I can shift the hue via the wrinkle. There we go, just like that. So I do this, this will just go and do that, which looked better in my head. Although, it is kind of working. Though, I feel like if I just absolute it, yeah, let's just go and absolute it and then throw it into the factor, do that. Yeah, that's fine. Here, we can just turn the saturation most of the way down. Wait a minute. Oh, wait. Ah, right. I guess that just means that the height map itself, or no. The tension map. Oh yeah, I should output the tension map as well. Tension map. so that you can get all the data you need, even outside the node group. Even though just getting the attribute is better, it's just kind of like, eh. People may want the data, because look at the beautiful data. Look at that. Let's go and bring this over to here, and also I should make it so that the animation... Let's go to the... oh wait. I want this to be the NLA editor, even though I could just copy the keyframes, which I probably should just copy the keyframes. Let's go back to the dope sheet. Go over to here where the frame start is. Make sure everything is keyframed. And then over here, actually, where is the end frame again for this? Wait, is it 24? I feel like it is. Nope, it is not. 32? Like that, and then, that frame 19, which makes perfect sense. Oh no, it actually does make sense. Okay. So we do that and that, yeah, okay. All channels just so that we don't have any weird interpolation issues. Go over here, delete you, go over here, delete all of you. So we should see that works just fine. And you know, I'm just gonna go and copy this for simplicity's sake, so that if little Timmy is looking at the animation, he will not have to worry about the NLA editor. Because who wants to worry about that? I really don't want to worry about NLA layers. I just want to see the animation and to worry about only that. There we go. So let's go and put this at 72, put the beginning at 1, and there we go. Very nice. Graph editor, and then let's go back. Let's go and remove. We don't need texture painting. We don't need scripting. Rendering, nope, we don't need sculpting. Compositing, yeah, people might want that. Let's go back to shading, which is our GeoNode editor as well. Turn off the wireframe, and yeah, I think this is good. We can still separate the gradient map, which is different than the length of the tension map. So if we go and do that, we just get that, which hue shifts that, and then does that. So we can just see that. Lovely. You love to see it. Okay. So that could work. We can go and do whatever we want. We can straight up hue shift it or just desaturate it. Personally, I am very biased towards hue shifting. It doesn't look like that's, actually, no, that works. Oh yeah, that works. That works very well. We can still square root it if we so desire. There we go, yep. But we can see, yeah, that's why I should not have square rooted it previously. Although, it still looks good when applied to the wrinkles. So, yeah, we're gonna keep that. Then right here, yep, that's just the, oh, yeah, let's, no, the more nodes, the laggier it gets. That's what we've learned. Let's just reduce the amount of nodes, because at least in this version of Blender 4.5 LTS, the more nodes you have, the laggier it gets, for apparently no good reason. Still trying to find that bug. It's so annoying. I spent over an hour on that. But yeah, there we go. We have that. The wrinkle maps are all doing their job. I should put in a bit more, you know, compression to this to show off that a bit more. Which, can I just go to the graph editor? This is why we should be using the NLA editor. Because I would just be able to change one part of the animation, then everything else would follow suit. There, it would just be like that. Let's keyframe that, so it would just be like... Okay, let's go and make it a little bit better. Oops, that was the one keyframe I put in. We can go and take that one out. That would look pretty dorky. And the animation already looks really dorky. I made this probably 2 years ago. And it's, you know, it's functional, so I just keep it around. It works. That right there, and then also those parts. You know what? The hue shifting is just a distraction, so I'm just going to take that out. It wasn't... a worthless endeavor, because it still inspired me to output the tension map. Because some people might still want it around, even if they don't know that's just an attribute. Oh, it actually looks quite good. Nice hue. Yeah, I don't know, do we try making this just generic knockoff Spider-Man? Or no, we could do so much better. And I can, actually no, let's make that 3D, and oh yeah, I already did that over there. Since the rest position attribute is already there, we can go and just use a nice greater than and then a mix node to mix between two different colors. So in here, I'll be this, and then I think a dark gray will work quite nicely. Yes. Looks quite fashionable. Though extremely distracting. That, and then that, nah. Very fashionable, but distracting. That way I had it as a gradient before. Let's go and use a map range node. Get over to here, set to be smoother step. Set to be 0.6 and 0.4. Oh wait, actually that. Not bad, not bad. Yeah, the wrinkles just aren't apparent enough, so I need to make them stand out by just making this the most basic thing ever. Maybe reflections? Because the question is, how do we make the bump map really shine? Pun not really intended, but anyway. Yeah, that works pretty well. Let's do that. And if I use the rest position and then separate the X, Y, Z, maybe use the Y, no, the X, make it greater than, I can plug that into the factors so that we can actually see which part, what it looks like with the wrinkles and without. Set that to 0. So again, over here, we can see the wrinkles. Over on the other side, we don't. Still not good enough. Still not good enough. Still not quite good enough, which is so unfortunate and annoying. Oh, that helps. Though, we still need to multiply it beforehand just to really exaggerate it. Clamp that so that it doesn't go beyond where it should. There we go. Oh, yeah, that's working beautifully. Just really exaggerating the stretching and compression. Maybe I just need to... Yeah, maybe I just need to move the shoulders forward a bit more. Let me check the animation on these, and of course there is absolutely no animation on the shoulders. Which there should be. Or, no, that would just exaggerate everything by way too much. No, maybe... Oh, wait a second. To properly showcase all of this, it just shouldn't... I know, it shouldn't be a running animation. It should be like the compression animation. Like I had with Spider-Man. Yeah, that's the way, isn't it? And we can stall that maybe like 1.25, just to, you know, exaggerate it a little bit more. But yeah, maybe just an animation where the character puts his arms forward and then out to the side, or out to the side, perfect T-pose, and then forward, and then, you know, it should be a proper test animation, not this. Okay, well, let's just copy it so that we can, and do that. Let's see, we're at almost 40 minutes, which, yeah, that's fine. Let's go to animation. Let's go to the dope sheet. Go ahead and turn off all of that. Actually, wait. I want to keep the keyframes for all the main parts, but I want to go and reset everything. So let's go and backspace a ton. Come on. Let's go and lock object modes. I usually never want to do that because that always annoys me. And it's just like, oh yeah, let's do that. Oh wait, I can't go back to selecting objects. Okay, let's do that, that, and that. I forget, there should be a thing to just reset everything to the rest pose. And I've tried looking that up before, but I have not found it. So if anyone knows in chat, please let me know. Okay, there is one of the bones. It's just... Oh wait, is that the pose? Man, really good posture, my dude. Let's go and keyframe all channels, so we have that. Good. So now, we can go and actually showcase it in all of its glory. For these lights, these are the Spider-Man lights, which we will keep, but hide for the time being. Let's go and add in some new lights. And I can't do it because I locked object modes like a genius. Okay, let's go and bring this over to here. Maybe turn up the radius by a bit more. Increase the power by a bit. Let's get some nice lighting going. Actually, where's the... Let's go and make another camera. This will be set 2. Set 2. And let's go and move the camera so that's not pointing right there. That's more pointing... Let's see, what would look the best? I think that's probably fine. Changing the camera's field of view can make it look a lot more professional, and this is the wrong camera. Well, a simple swap will do the trick. There we go. Let's color it in blue, because that's my standard for doing that. Let's go and zoom this in to maybe like 100. The more you zoom it in, the more cinematic it looks. As long as it doesn't, you know, entirely look orthographic. That looks good. Let's go to the shader. And let's go and keyframe just 2 poses, and then we'll use wiggle bones to make everything else look amazing. Okay, so we have you right there. So keyframe 1. Why is it not showing what I've actually selected? Odd. Not entirely sure about that. Anyway, let's go and bring you over to here. I want you. These are facing the right way, correct? Let's go. I want the arms to be... Looks like it's having a few issues here and there. I want you to be like that. Without breaking the anatomy, preferably. Now we are going and resetting the shoulder. We'll need to do that. I want to move a little bit. This rig is not amazing by any means. Go. But it will at least be functional in this case. We have that. Let's go and keyframe everything, all channels. And maybe we go and make him stretch upwards a bit. Yeah. And let me go and make it so that the head actually merits the neck rotation, because that's how it should have been from the beginning. I'm gonna do that. Raise the sun. What is that from, actually? I don't remember. Maybe I'm too young for that. Okay, let's do that. So we have... those were keyframes before, right? This is supposed to be the rest pose. Why it's still doing that? Nope. What did I screw up? Ah! Such fun. That did not have a keyframe originally, which means that the other shoulder did not as well, which I did mention before, but I apparently just forgot. Ah, there we go. Right now, we're in the chill part of the stream, which is animating. Because animation takes the most time. Basically, the main part of the stream is over. Wait, maybe the arm should be still outstretched like that. Let's see, maybe like that. It does look like he's wearing like a trash bag or something along those lines. I mean, it works, so that's something. Set you, reset you. Yeah, no, maybe that's not the best pose. The poses need to be good. Let's see. Now, what pose would be good? That's from Dark Souls. Okay. Let me read the chat again. I wonder if the system could be used for other cases like getting edge data of a high poly hard surface model and transferring it as a mask to a low poly output all in the same object. I think regular baking would be fine for that. Or just sample nearest surface. See, like that. Yeah, what would be... Oh, wait, no. Twisting. Yeah, no, that's the best example. Twisting. That showcases everything quite well. You can see my weight painting in full effect. Ah, yeah, love to see it. Okay. Let's go and twist to one side. That's not showing it enough. Compress. Yeah, and then do that. Well, over here we can rotate this part. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Here, maybe we can twist the neck a little bit. Like that. And the hand, I could still do that. Keyframe everything. So there, it's just like that. Could make him dab, but nope, we're not gonna do that. That belongs in the past. Keyframe everything, to run it again. Yeah, that could work. Look at the neck stretches, wow. That's actually a good showcase of it as well. If the rig were better, like this looks very unnatural. Where's the noggin bone? There we go. Right here, we can see that. So we would have to rotate both of these at the same time, just to do. Yeah, that could be a showcase of it as well. Because look at the neck folds right there. Look at that. Yeah, no, this is actually good. Just like here. It could just work. Yeah, let's throw in a keyframe there. My computer's fan, English, is whirring. Let's bring that down. Oh yeah, that's a very natural looking pose. That's the way to go. Dang it, wrong one. There we go. There we go. Just looks over the shoulder, and then we can hopefully reverse the pose to make that work. Anything else? And then we can have an in-between. Yes. So how do we go and mirror the pose? Is there like a mirror? Select, nope. Oh man, I have to do it somewhat manually. No, that goes against my very core as a procedural artist. I say that as a joke, because doing stuff manually, we should not fear. Doing stuff manually is very necessary. Because not everything can be solved with just a math or physics. Not everything. Let's go and bring this arm over. Oh, come on, buddy. Go over here. Kind of like that, but yeah, it's now it has to be a novel pose. That, and we can make him just look towards the sky. Really just strain his neck. Go. Now let's go and reset you. Oh. Let's see, maybe. Maybe twisting just a little too. Oh yeah, no, that's better. And then maybe. Yeah, I just want to stretch a bit more. Stretch a little bit more. That makes it look like that's stretching a little bit too much. I want this part to stretch a bit more. Panels. So again, right here, just like that. And, oh, wait. did not expect the head to move in like almost a fluid motion, while the other one is just having a very difficult time. But yeah, the guy will pose there. The effect will flash on and off, so just that, on, off, there, on, off. And then maybe, actually, let me look up some yoga poses. Maybe that'll help. Or just stretch poses. Maybe the Wii Fit yoga poses from way back, from the grand old time of 2008. Wii Fit. Oh, that could actually work. Potentially. Yeah, maybe I just need to go and get all those. Maybe that'll work. Oh yeah, no, the model cannot handle. Model cannot handle all that. Oh, that's a problem. Not a huge problem though. Okay, we are almost at an hour, so I will wrap up the stream and do the rest of this work off stream. Also, let's go and see what Wiggle Bones looks like. Because, when in doubt, physics! When in doubt, physics. I think we need the stiffness to be less, like maybe 0.15. Oh, there we go, so just like that. And then the damping needs to go up. Because again, your core has a lot of damping to it. It's not... Yeah, there we go. That feels so natural. And then for the head, we can just do that. So just like that. And then here, let's turn this up to 120. I don't want it to be a bobblehead, but that just, you know, exaggerates what's going on. Oh my god. Physics! You'll love to see it. You'll love to see it. Let's go and turn up the damping again. Yeah, that seems to be fine. With this one, we can lower the arm. Just like that. I know, this pose kind of sucks. It really sucks. Maybe I can make it look like he's praying. Where is that one right there? Again, the wrinkles do work for the wrist as well. There's not a lot of topology there to work on, but it does work. He looks so scared. So terrified of something just off screen. Come on, buddy. Where is the thing? There we go. I really wish... Actually, does this exist already? Viewport display. I wish we could control how in front the bones were, like a slider. That would be actually... Wait a second. Wireframe, in front. Maybe we can do... I think we can do that per bone now. Viewport display... Nope. Maybe it's the colors? Custom properties? Nope. Actually, where did the bone colors go? It's been a while. Relations... Lay... Oh, they're all... Does that have alpha as well? Nope. No, it does not. Oh, well. Oh, and there goes the pose. Okay. Let's move this over to here. Oh, come on. Right there. So again, it's just da-da-da. That is a bit too bobbly, isn't it? So let's go and reduce the amount to be... Oh, come on. Wiggle bones. There we go. Oh, that's where all that stuff is stored. Ah. You learn something new every day. Yeah, what should this pose be? Because that just does not work. Maybe. It'll be the guy looking quite, Yeah, those wrinkles, they're... Uh-oh. Not a problem. And again, maybe I'll need to turn off the square root thing again. Maybe. That's why we do this. We love to test. Yeah, and then that right there, I'm assuming that's just because the UV or the wrinkle map is a bit too big, and then the UV seams like that. And maybe just twist the hand a little bit. Poses just need to be good. And they are not. Oh, shoot. No, not good enough. Okay, I'll figure that out off stream. Let me go and turn down the amount that is shown. We do need to make the shader a little bit better. So let's go to the good pose. And try to make the lighting a wee bit better. We want very strong rim lights, because rim lights are just the best. If you want to know how to make your lighting look good, it's just, just tons of rim lights. Always tons and tons of rim lights. Here we go. Maybe different color. No, not that one. Oh, maybe that can highlight the wrinkles a bit more. Soft. No, that one's like that. Do that. Ooh, yeah. Not the worst. Not the worst. Again, default pose. Let's go and go to there. And we will probably need to lift up the world lighting a little bit more. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Did you see the DLSS denoiser demo from SIGGRAPH? Yeah, I wonder how useful it'll be. I mean, it looks really useful, but I'm unsure how compatible it'll be with Blender as a whole. Though, again, looks promising. Let's see. I mean, hopefully we can get that in Eevee, because Eevee's denoiser needs a lot of help, as we can see here. But yeah, it looks promising. I'll hold my breath in its implementation, because I haven't seen that really mentioned anywhere else besides SIGGRAPH. You can go to pose mode and then clear the transformation in the pose menu. Ah. Let's see, wait. You can go to pose mode and then clear the transformation. So is that... Ah. Right. Oh, okay. So clear transform off. Right. Why? For some reason I was thinking like, oh, there would be a command to just reset it on all of them, but no. That makes too much sense. Why didn't I think of that? Yeah. Should have known. Okay. I guess since we're pretty much at an hour right now, I'm going to go back to the Spider-Man demo so that we can end it on a high note. Let's go back to the main rig right here. Go turn on the lights. Hello, Spider-Man. How's it going? But yeah, as we can see, the wrinkles work amazingly in most scenarios. It's just beautiful. I mean, look at that. Turn them up, turn them off. Again, with that off, looks like that. With it on, it looks like that. And so much realism. But yeah, most likely it'll be up on Gumroad in the future, though probably, you know, not with the Spider-Man model, with the other model I'm working with. Though I will make the demo look a lot better than it currently looks. Alright, thank you all for watching, I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Have a good one.